Hello everyone, it's Susie, Crypto Granny here. Hope you're all well, looking after yourself and being kind to yourself and being kind to your beautiful animals just to make this world a better place. Now, today's the date, it's 26th of 3rd, 2021, and it's 14:21 in Amsterdam, the Netherlands time. There's a lot to talk about, so I won't dilly-dally. I'll get on with this pretty quickly because there's always so much to talk about in this crypto market. It's just so fascinating to me. I just love it. It's like a chessboard. It's incredible. Just love it. Seriously, I really do. Anyway, let's get on with this. Enough of me yattering away like that. But I think the most important thing to say today is apparently there was news from Bloomberg overnight that an Iranian warship fired on an Israeli cargo vessel. And that's really, really serious, okay? Nothing like a war to get risk markets, going absolutely parabolic. And what I mean by risk markets is obviously equity markets, cryptocurrency markets, but also corporate bond markets, even commodities like oil, for example, which has been coming down the last couple of days, even though you had that other cargo ship apparently stuck in the Suez Canal, and it's stopping, all these other ships, oil ships coming through and everything else. And they're trying to dredge this ship out, and apparently, they now said it's going to take, a couple of days to at least weeks. So it looks like this big ship that's stuck in the Suez Canal is stopping global trade and everything. So, certainly oil should be starting to really spike. It's at $59.90 at the moment. And I think this is going to really make it spike. But not just that. This, potential, if this is true, the story from Bloomberg about the Iranian warship firing on a Israeli cargo vessel, my God, this could lead to war, which is really, really scary. And there could be a strike on Iran as well, which will really push up basically, as I said, risk markets, including cryptocurrency assets. So keep an eye out for that story. I've been trying to find more information on that story about the Iranians and the Israelis, but I can't sort of find anything else in reference to that. So that's something that's really big, and that could seriously propel these markets to new highs and higher above that. And look, coupled with that, again, I say this again, you've got the Fed constantly putting more money into the system. Now, last year there was literally, they put something like money supply, not velocity, which is lower, and I've mentioned that to you before, money velocity. Money supply, they increased the money supply in the market by 25%. Okay, that was last year. Now we know what they've done this year. They've done, COVID, 1.9 trillion. They're now talking about another 850 billion to go into COVID, which is more issuing of debt, more issuing of cash into the market, which is basically going to depreciate the US dollar because they keep issuing more and more debt into the market. The thing is, the US government issues the debt, creates the cash, right, which is basically selling US dollars, and then all this cash is sloshing around in the system all over the place looking for yield. And the cryptocurrency market has the highest yield on a risk-adjusted basis, being the Sharpe ratio. So it is a no-brainer that people, people will come into this market. Retail as well as institutional and big investors, right? Everything I read is just bull, bull, bull. Plus, again, the Fed is talking about, and I mentioned this the other day, a $3 trillion infrastructure program. So more money coming into the system, right? It's just so simple to me what's going to happen here. This market is going to go so bull, it is not going to be funny, right? And it will go parabolic. And I mean straight up. Seriously, there's no supply on the exchanges, right? More and more people are getting into the market. They're raising equity. In other words, they're going to the equity markets to do an IPO, initial product offering, an offering in the market to make it a secondary product. And all that money that's being raised in the equity market, and it's not even, the equity market's come down a little bit, but it's held support. will go into the cryptocurrency market. So the money that's going to come into this market is just going to be unbelievable. Seriously, to me, it's just, you cannot be, as far as I'm concerned, people that are bearish, it doesn't make sense when the money is being plowed into the system, and that money has to go somewhere and it'll be looking for a yield. It won't be sitting with a bank as a custodian where they'll be charging you 1.5% to put your money in the bank. I mean, seriously, it's going to go into the cryptocurrency markets and the equity markets. And, the equity markets maintain their large support lines, right? Even with the last, week and a half of sell-off, right? And the thing is, right, it's still in a massive uptrend, the equity market. And with this sell-off, I think it's going to, bring in a lot of buyers in the equity market as well, because it's just so obvious what's going on here. The Fed and the government want to create more and more debt. And it's just going to, it's just escalating out of control. I mean, we saw the US debt money timer thing yesterday, and, the debt was something like 28 trillion. Now, I remember just over a year ago, the debt was about 18 to 20 trillion. So, we're talking massive amount of money coming to the system, seriously. Now, anyway, let's quickly look at all the, let's look at all the numbers at the moment. So if we go to market cap today, it's 1.664 trillion. Volume is 70 bill. Liquidity is 3.5 bill, and Bitcoin dominance is 59.48%. That dominance will go down much lower as far as I'm concerned. I believe it will get to 45% at least by the year end. Now, if you look at the long-term charts for Bitcoin dominance, obviously it used to be at, nearly 100%, right? And then it went right down to 35%, and then went back up to about 80-odd%, and now back to 59.48. So that Bitcoin dominance can move down very quickly. Also, it'll be selective cryptocurrency assets, okay, when I say that, because, as I said, there's about 8,900 cryptocurrency coins and tokens, and there's about 300 or 400 that come to the market every day, right? And 98% of those are going to be dead within 2 years, as Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO from Ripple, said, and I absolutely agree with him. So if 99% of all those coins and tokens of 8,900 are going to be dead, you've got to make sure that you invest in crypto that has the business, the clients, the revenue, the right fundamentals, and the technology works, right? So, that makes it very interesting. Let's quickly go to just real volume and see what was done overnight for the last 24 hours. Tether was 24.47 bill, Bitcoin 11.93 bill, Ethereum 3.81 bill, Binance US 3.48 bill, Cardano ADA 2.02 bill, Binance itself 1.45 bill, XRP 1.09 bill, Phil 997 mil, Theatre was 985 mil, and then you've got Polkadot and a few others, Anchor, Chiles, Tron, which I love both of those, of course. Now, apparently also Theatre token took over the market cap of Litecoin yesterday. So now Litecoin is actually behind Theatre in the top 10 according to market cap, which is very interesting. Gosh, XRP is at 7 there, so that's very interesting in itself. So let's just quickly go to the news, because there is a lot to talk about, apart from the fiat markets themselves, which I mentioned earlier before. What happened overnight? So a Kiwi New Zealand growth strategy 350 million retirement fund is now investing in Bitcoin and allocating 5% to that, which is quite amazing. Effect Network, DeFi, is moving from EOS blockchain to Binance Smart Chain due to being concerned about the future of the EOS blockchain and the many problems plagued with this network. This will not last. This is really interesting, actually, because EOS, excuse me for a minute, I've never liked EOS, ever. And there's a couple of reasons for that. The technology doesn't work, so if you use it, it's a shocker. That's number one. The security's not great. Number three, they did an ICO, and if people remember this rightly, they did an ICO and it lasted for about a year and a half, and they literally got $4 billion from the market, from the cryptocurrency market. And the coin has always underperformed. I think it's a dog of a coin, seriously, and I wouldn't even trade it or invest in it. And also the founder, I think his name's Dan Larimer, has basically resigned. And there was all this, in-house fighting with the technical people and also the blockchain people and the developers. And when you've got that sort of thing going on and the founders also left, it doesn't give you a lot of, confidence in the network of EOS, right? So it doesn't surprise me this client is basically moving from EOS because they're concerned about the future of EOS, and they said there were so many problems plaguing the network when they were using it. And they said also that they're just so much more confident in the future of Binance Smart Chain and where it's going, okay? And that's that's a very telling thing when clients are actually leaving to go to another platform. So EOS is a dog, and I would not invest in it or even trade in it. Another thing, Microsoft launches an identity platform on Bitcoin, okay, on Bitcoin's blockchain. It's called ION. So it's going to be a decentralized identity platform, which I think is fantastic. I'll keep an eye out for ION because they're not listed yet, but that's something to keep an eye out because I think decentralized identity, cryptocurrency technology is absolutely perfect for that area, right? And we're actually invested in identity coins in our investment portfolio. So, ION is going to be very interesting to keep an eye out, and I'll certainly keep an eye out for that one. Very, very interesting. Now, overnight, there was $2.4 billion of futures contracts liquidated. And don't forget today, being Friday, we have billions of dollars, $6 billion of options, Bitcoin options that are expiring. Okay, and I mentioned that to you the other day, right? And the big strike level for in the money is 44,000, as I said to you, and there's all these different strike levels. So we might see a bit of interesting behaviour, trading behaviour on Bitcoin today. So keep an eye out on that. And what else we got here? Apparently 7% of Americans have used stimulus checks to buy crypto. Wow, that's amazing. Well, I don't blame them because what else would you invest in? Seriously. It's the way to go. Also, I mentioned, and keep in mind, this is why I cannot be bearish at all. I'm ultra bull because the crypto exchanges, the major ones, I said this the other day too, they don't have a lot of stock of crypto. So, Bitcoin from January this year has literally dropped from 975,000 Bitcoin. This is all the exchanges together to just under 800,000 Bitcoin, and that's it. And once that goes, that's just going to be it. The market's going to be higher and higher and higher. So, I'm just bull no matter what. I really am. Now, Cardano introduces rollout plan for smart contracts, apparently. Also, there's an article about NFT loans, NFT 20 protocol, which certainly got my interest. So I'll be following that up as well, which is basically, collateral loans against cryptocurrency, okay? Very much like what Celsius does or Nexo. You put your crypto with them and then they give you a loan or a margin loan or whatever it might be. Okay, and another big thing was also I read that Soros' fund, George Soros, who made billions having a short trade against pound, being short pound in 1994, right? I remember this, and I was working, professionally at that time. He was short the pound, right? And he basically broke the Bank of England because they were trying to support the pound. And George Soros's big, $1 trillion funds were basically hammering the pound, and he made billions and billions. Good on you, George. So George Soros's fund manager, the management of the funds, the chief investment officer, Dawn Fitzpatrick, said BTC is no longer a fringe asset due to the debasement of the US dollar in the last year. And this is absolutely right. The US dollar has gone, down 25% in the last year. And, this is the trade, right? You buy crypto and you sell US dollars, right? And you have to make sure that US dollars goes down, right? Because if US dollars goes up and you've sold it, you can lose money against your crypto. But what you want is the US dollar to go down because you're short the US dollar and you're long specific crypto. And this is exactly, what this lady's talking about, and very, very clever woman. She's basically saying, money supply was up, 25% on the year. And, it's just a no-brainer to invest, in crypto, and investments in crypto. So the Soros funds, and they're huge. There's 2 large funds that they have for crypto, and they've invested in a $200 million funding round held by the New York State Department Trust Company, right? And they've also invested in, this is the Soros funds, have also invested in a crypto accounting firm called Luca. And, they raised apparently on the 25th of March, $53 million. And I mean, that's amazing because, look, I have a lot of clients and they always ask me about tax, about tax in terms of cryptocurrency. And, it's amazing that the Soros Fund is investing in, a cryptocurrency tax, corporation. Incredible. That's really, really interesting to me. Also, XRP ledger to have more DEX, which is decentralized exchanges, mainnet, and date to be revealed on the 29th of March. Sologenic, which, as you know, is run on XRP ledger, and it's very XRP focused, has an exchange on there and everything for fiat and equities and whatnot, and cryptocurrency, and everything's against XRP, right? They're going to be releasing, apparently, this new DEX trading platform with advanced features, which is really interesting, and it's good for XRP too because they're using XRP with advanced features. Wow. Sol said they're going to release a DEX and a DEX with the support to be able to offer storage and transfer of tokenized real-world assets, and that's huge. I mean, it's great for XRP, huge for XRP, and big for Solana as well, which is Sologenic, which is on XRP's ledger, that's a great story, really, really great for XRP and Sol. Now, on the 25th, Avanti Financial Group raised $37 million in Series A funding and raised a total of $44 million. Now, that would have been probably through debt or through equity, okay? And this is what's happening. People are doing corporate debt, institutions are doing corporate debt or equity, so they're raising it in the expensive markets and then putting it into a cheap market, being the cryptocurrency. And that makes so much sense to me from a strategic asset allocation perspective. So Avanti Financial Group intend to use the money increasing their crypto, their crypto digital bank, okay? Their digital asset bank, as they call themselves. And the names that were invested in this as well is even more interesting. The names that invested in Avanti Financial Group and their digital asset bank are huge names, and you know them. Binance US. Binance has always invested in things, and this is why Binance, the coin, is a no-brainer. Seriously, this is a billion dollar revenue business, or maybe trillions of dollars, and a $1 billion profitable, net profit business. It is phenomenal. And the coin should not be there, as I said, at $247 US. It's a joke. When Coinbase is going to get listed on the NASDAQ at $343, from $200 to the institutional guys and $277 to the retail, right? So Binance is a no-brainer. They're bigger than Coinbase. They have more clients than Coinbase. Their facilities and their tools and their graphics, and they have futures and options. And I mean, it's just a no-brainer. Seriously, Binance is a no-brainer. Also invested in Avanti Financial Group, digital asset bank, was Coinbase Ventures, of course, Madison Page Ventures, Morgan Creek, Susquehanna Private Equity Investments, and I've heard, Susquehanna is everywhere, seriously. Also, AP Capital was involved, and to top it off, the University of Wyoming Foundation. Now, how's that? University, massive, right? Also, let's get on with this. Ethereum scaling solution delays to July 2021. So Ethereum have got all sorts of problems, right? Their layer 2 solution to try and stop, queuing of orders, and just, they can't scale enough and their costs are too high. And, that's going to be delayed until July. Good grief. I mean, honestly, just amazing. Ethereum staking trust. Ethereum have also created another staking trust to get more institutions to invest in their coin for staking, and they're offering the institutions 7.5% per annum, which is interesting. Wow, that's a lot. Incredible. Also, there's another news story about XRP could be relisted on the exchanges, and that's going around via the XRP Army, and good on them, I say, for sure. So what else we got here today? What else have I missed out on? Right, let me just have a glass of water. Excuse me for a sec. Social media. So the worldwide Google searches were Eternity Chain, Pancake Swap, that always comes up, Convergence, Cabs Group, Elron, Ecomi, and Ankr, ANKR. The 10 out of 10 on our other social media platform is Pancake Swap, Anchor, Tron, Cardano, XRP, Chromia, Luna, Elron, Coti, and Ocean Protocol. And the top gains today are QTUM, and we've got them in our investment portfolio. That's up about 20%. Flow, Anchor, and Chroma. Interesting. And if we look at the technicals, I had a quick look at those too, right? They look very bullish to me, okay? And there's a lot that look bullish, right? Ada Ambrose's BTC, BNB, BTT, Chiles, Crow, CVC, Theatre, TKY, QTUM looks seriously bullish, right? POWR, MFT, NEXO, OMG, One, ONT, Just, WTC. Even XRP looks bullish. Fed income. I mean, this is just like, this market's going to go off as far as I'm concerned. So let's have a look. If I missed out on anything here, no, that's all good. So as I said, the equity market turned around last night completely after the market heard about this Iranian story with the warship and the Israeli cargo vessels. The market was initially down, the equity market was down, and it actually ended up. And also the equity market came back to its huge support levels, right? So with this, the market completely turned itself around. I mean, even oil was down massively, came back. Gold didn't do anything, either did silver. But, the thing is, this could seriously, really pull markets up. So that was pretty interesting in itself. Also, Fed Evans was out last night saying that no rates need to be changed until 2024. And I agree with that, absolutely. The final GDP rate that came out of the US for the final quarter of Q4 was only 2%, okay? And they were calling 6.5%. I mean, seriously, how can they call 6.5% for this year when it was 2%, and it's probably not even right. It's probably much lower than that. Seriously, I just think gross domestic product in the US must be negative. I cannot believe that it's positive. It's in a state of depression. In the depression, gross domestic product was minus 33%. And the US did have some minus 33%, right, in the last quarter and two. I cannot see how gross domestic product can be at 2%. I just think that is a total lie. Just like inflation's supposed to be 2.5%, that is a lie. Seriously. Honestly, commodities should be through the roof, hard commodities such as gold, silver and oil. It doesn't make sense to me that they're still going down is just crazy. Just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, interest rates overall are still very low, even though they have gone up quite quickly in yield from last year to this year. But the 10-year US bond rate is at 1.67, up 6 overnight. And obviously the Fed's very concerned about that rate. And I don't think they'll let that rate go too high, that 10-year US bond yield rate, okay? So, with that, the US currency is going to keep sort of moving up. But at the same time, you've got this pressure of huge debt issuance coming in from the Fed. And, literally every time they do more debt issuance, like the 1.9 trillion, it puts pressure on the currency to come down. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here, guys and girls, but I'm sure it's going up. That's my opinion. Also, there's talk of introducing a COVID passport, apparently, and there's some places in the States that are saying, you've got to have your COVID injection, basically, and the only way you can prove that is if you've got a COVID passport. Geez, that sounds a bit, you've had an injection and someone else hasn't. Golly, big brother sort of thing. But anyway, all very interesting. So to finish this on a high note, as far as I'm concerned, my lovely listeners, this is going higher. This is going higher and higher. And just watch this space. Always so interesting, this market. I just love it. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, guys and girls. Have a great weekend. Really enjoy yourselves. And if you want to get really good education, like seriously, and you're really serious about it, right? Come and join my $45 Patreon. We'll have a chat. Maybe we can work out a good price for a year, and you will seriously learn how to make money. We set up investment portfolios, trading portfolios, another 3 or 4 portfolios, and we know how to make money. Seriously. Anyway, guys and girls, that's enough of me, and have a great weekend. Cheers, and have a drink on me. Thank you.